Hello friends! I am at the Grand Canyon this morning. Normally I like to come to the Grand Canyon on New Year's Day and I like to be here for sunrise. It's my little tradition. But this year I have some stuff going on, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I came today, a few days early. And while I'm here, I thought I would share with you a little bit of my sunrise at Shoshone Point, and then I will share with you a recap of 2017 and what I am looking forward to in 2018. So to get us started, let's look at my sunrise at Shoshone Point. Yep, it was beautiful. And not as cold as it has been in years past. In fact, there's no snow right now. We're in a bit of a snowless crisis situation. Okay, maybe not a crisis, but there's been no snow and there's no snow in the forecast. So it was actually quite nice out there. The wind wasn't even that bad, which normally it really is because it's an area that juts out into the canyon. Anyway, saw lots of ravens and such, which I love. So let's start out with how things went in 2017. First of all, gear. Of course, as always, new gear got introduced by everybody. I would say that Canon and Nikon, you know, they introduced some cool stuff. I was on a panel for the Nikon D850, which was really exciting and cool. But it was all kind of evolutionary. As for the other camera companies, Sony, Fuji, Panasonic, you know, they kind of were a little more, they took some more chances. They were a little more revolutionary. You know, Panasonic with that GH5, I'm still kind of got my eye on. But I mean, that's not to say that, you know, Canon and Nikon didn't do anything. Like I said, the D850 was great, and the Canon, actually I purchased a Canon body this year. I got the SL2, the Rebel SL2, and I've been using that for video, which I really like. That kind of brings me to my next topic, which is just some cool things that I did in 2017 that I was able to share with you all. One of them being the panel, the live streamed panel that I did for B&H and the release of the Nikon D850. The D850, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm not excited about all of the camera stuff that has been introduced, because I was excited about it. The D850, it gets me just that much closer to one all-around camera body, right? So I did that panel. That was really cool. Another thing I did this year was monthly photography themes. That wasn't an entirely new idea for me. I have done them in the past, but this year I said, I'm going to do a monthly photography theme every month, and I'm going to stick with it. And I did, and I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the engagement from you guys and seeing how you all interpreted all of these themes that I came up with. One really big thing that I rolled out this year was a Patreon page. And this Patreon page was to kind of create a space for people to contribute to big photography trips that I would take, where I can kind of bring that experience to you all through a book that I create at the end of the trip, as well as behind the scenes video from planning and, inception of the trip through to the trip itself and what I bring and the gear and how I do it and everything like that. So that's one thing that I did this year that I am really looking forward to continuing. Okay, now I've offloaded my coffee to Raymond because one more thing in 2017 is that I'm constantly trying to get off coffee. And I'm kind of successfully there. I'm only having a little bit every now and then. So anyway, the talk about Patreon has kind of brings me to 2018 and the things that I want to do this year. But first, let me share with you my view. I'm out on the road to Hermit's Rest, just walking along. I can never get enough of this. Okay, Patreon and trips. I'm continuing them, and I have 2 in the works. And these 2 are... Raven, are you trying to get in on my video? He's a noisy one. So I am working on 2 big trips through my patrons. I've actually had the patrons let me know what they think that I should do, where they think I should go, where they'd like to see. And I got some really good ideas, and I'm trying to make them happen. The first one that you all will be seeing, I will be making the announcement very, very soon. I just need to put a couple of things into place to make sure that it will all work out, and I will be rolling that out very soon. That being said, I would like to do some more small trips, kind of like I'm doing today. In general, I do this stuff all the time. I'm always out. I run to the Grand Canyon for a day. I do whatever. I'm always hiking outside, whatever. But since I've started these larger trips through Patreon, I've kind of not brought you guys along with me on these smaller trips. And I don't know why. And I want to start doing it again. So that's what today is. It's not quite 2018 yet, but I am starting that right now. Another thing I'm starting right now is getting out of my studio more often. This is something that I have been starting to try to do. That was actually kind of the reason for getting the Canon Rebel SL2, is to be able to shoot video easily out in the field, or at least more easily out in the field. So I've noticed that all of my videos, they're kind of starting to look the same, and that's boring for me, so I assume it's boring for you. So I plan to continue on with kind of the same content, or the same types of content, but also getting out into the world and shooting more like I am right now out in the field. Okay, along with shooting out in the field means that I kind of have to do things differently with gear and my process and everything. I'm always trying to make my process more efficient. I'm always trying to make the quality of my videos better. So to that end, I have done a couple of things. I mentioned the SL2 already. I'm shooting on a gimbal right now. I'm using my phone, but I'm shooting on a gimbal right now to make things more smooth while I'm walking around. But also, I am using a new microphone today. This looks very similar to the lavalier mic that I've been using for years and years and years, but this is a different microphone. It is from Sony. So I'm trying it out. So far, so good. And I'm actually, let me just share with you, shooting it to a piece of equipment that I've had for a long time. This is the Zoom H4n, I want to say. Yeah, H4n. And yeah, that's what I'm trying out right now. I will certainly do a review of this microphone coming up too, but all of this is to all increase the watchability and quality of my videos. All right, that brings me to what else I hope happens in 2018. Non-me stuff. Things that I can't control, but I can hope for, are some new gear announcements, right? So I guess what I hope to see is some more of this forward thinking from the other camera brands, Sony, Fuji, Panasonic, those folks. You know, I'd love to continue seeing them increasing their quality. I want to see better battery life from them, and just slightly better usability for me. I know a lot of people out there really like all of those brands and use them faithfully. For me, I'm not quite ready to use them. I would love to see better usability for me and better battery life. Now, from Nikon and Canon, however, what I really want to see is a big step forward. I want to leap from them. I want some revolution rather than just this evolution of kind of the same thing, getting better and better incrementally, which is great, don't get me wrong, but you know, the one big thing, which I've said over and over again, that I just keep crossing my fingers on is for Nikon to get their autofocus during video shooting up to where I can use it. I shoot videos with my Nikon DSLRs all the time in the studio, but I don't use autofocus, and I would love, love, love to see that get better. I found a bench to sit down at for a little bit and rest my tootsies. So I think let's talk about some of my personal goals this year, because my life as, you know, Leigh and my life as Snap Chick, they're often intertwined, because, you know, I do this for a living because I love it, and I would do a lot of the things that I do even if you all weren't coming along with me. So let's talk about some of those things that I want to do on a personal front. One of those things that I would like to do, that I'm going to do, not that I would like to do, is snowshoeing. I did not experience snow a lot as a kid. This is really kind of an adult thing for me, is experiencing snow, and so I've never been snow skiing. I've never been snowboarding or snowshoeing, or I feel like I've barely been sledding. So I am going to purchase some snowshoes this year, and actually I think I'm going to purchase them anyway, and I'm actually going to a little class in the near future here, and I'm going to try out snowshoeing. So you all know I'll be bringing you all along with me on some of those adventures, good or bad. And the other adventure actually has to do with where I am right now, the Grand Canyon. I have spent a lot of time at the Grand Canyon. I love it here. It's my favorite place on earth. However, I have a goal that I have had for years that I have never done, and that is to hike rim to rim to rim. Not camping in the middle, not taking some time and staying at the lodge at the North Rim. I mean, all in one go. South Rim, to the river, to the North Rim, to the river, and back to the South Rim. So it's something that I've wanted to do. I have been working towards that the last few months, and I am hoping that this year I'm going to do that. And that's something that I would like to take you all along with me on, but I'm not sure if that will happen. I will certainly be able to take some photos along the way, but it will be an epic journey for me, and I can certainly recap it for you at the end. So that's all for me, friends. That's all for me for 2017. And in looking forward to 2018, I can't wait. And I do want to know what you all would like to see. Is there anything in particular that you would like to see, or just does everything that I've talked about sound good? What type of gear do you want to see? You know, what do you think is going to happen in 2018? Let me know down in the comments. And beyond that, enough about me. tell me about you. Is there anything that you have going on in 2018 that you want to share with the rest of us? Thanks everybody again for all your support and your views and all of the wonderful conversation that I have with you all. I look forward to more in 2018.